Hey, what's up guys, it's CryptoLoop here, back again with another video. We're going to go ahead and start off with a brief TA, view a few polls, threads, and also Twitter posts. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. First off, we've seen explosive growth over the past 15 days since January 31st of 2021. We've seen a 469% increase, and obviously it was expected to see a couple of pullbacks, followed by a double bottom, which is really good sign. There's obviously potential to make a triple bottom, but I don't see that. It's definitely still in the cards regardless. I see us instead kind of testing this area right here, and if it surpasses that, we'll test this, and if it breaks through this, we'll see an actual leg up, hopefully to over half a penny, and that's where I'm kind of aiming for as a price target. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next Twitter post, which is another TA. We have an A, B, and C wave, to where the D wave would then retest the resistance trend line, and if it surpasses that, it would see similar price action as well to about half a penny and to about half a penny and a tenth. So that's not bad at all. On to the next post, we see how much TEL will you be selling at $1. Majority of people show a 100% to a 50% of their bag would be sold. That actually proves to me that there'd be a pretty good resistance and a solid rejection at the end of the day. But if we do have that rejection, I also see us pulling back up. I don't see $1 coming for a pretty decent amount of time because it's definitely a long ways away. Regardless though, we do have a few remittances opening up before the end of quarter 2. So over here we have one more poll with how old are my fellow Telcoin hodlers. We see that majority of us are between 21 to 40 years old, and then the very least is under 21, which I happen to be in, and we have a little bit over 40 years old as well. And then over here we have a few more days until GCash would list Telcoin. I firmly believe that GCash won't be listing them until they get that private key thing figured out. Obviously it didn't affect all users, but there's a few select users that has affected, and that needs to be fixed for. If you do have that issue, go ahead and contact Telcoin through Telegram or into their email. But from there, if you do need help contacting them, I'm also available. Just go into the comments and I'll go ahead and help you out as well. And then over here we have an actual article from HD Investments, and so he explains how there's supposed to be over 9 launch corridors by the end of this quarter. By quarter 2, they're supposed to be essentially going into a $7.65 billion remittance market within quarter 2 by the end of that, which is actually by the end of June. So with that sinking in, that's going to obviously drive the price up, which is very good news for all the holders as well. On to the next post, we have a Lunar Crush post. This is showing that we have a pretty good strong social and market activity. Within the top 10, we rank number 7. And then we have another one from DYOR.net within KuCoin, and we're the top 5 bullish trend for Bitcoin and Tether, which is really good because no other cryptocurrency made it in one and the other. So to make it in both, that's a really good sign, and it shows very strong strength and bullishness. On to the next one. Dr. Evil of Crypto shows that over 33 million people are about to be entering this remittance market of Telcoin, and we are early. We are very, very early. Beyond that, Link Aho has more than 33 users that'll be released as well, but that's not anytime soon. We have a little bit of ways away before that does happen. Currently, we're still rolling out that Canada to Filipino remittance, and so this is only the first corridor. We have several more to go, as you'll see in an article here in a minute. Alright, next up, we have TouchPay, which will be available to buy, sell, and trade Telcoin in over 1,800 ATMs, which is really good. I think that's a lot of good exposure, especially as soon as that launches, because that's going to be some new people, definitely new investors are going to be flowing in just from that alone. Next up, we have Telcoin Daily Info with the electronic money transactions processed by fintech companies, led by Paymaya and GCash. This has actually more than tripled over this pandemic alone, and that's bound to only increase from here on out, which I think is very, very good. And it's definitely a good sign of growth as well. And then next up we have a Telcoin graphic with the aggregated benefits of confirmed partners, which is GCash, Vimo, TouchPay, Paga, Telin, and Jumia, with over 246 million combined customers, 73,000 partner merchants, and 17,000 cash-in terminals, with 1,800 cash-out terminals, which is TouchPay right here. Alright, next up we have a Reddit post as to why this person loves Tel, and his sister had worked for NGO in Africa for over 5 years, seeing people or families walk over 20 to 30 miles away just to get money alone, while Telcoin is enabling the unbanked in Africa to do that in just seconds without having to walk such a long distance. And obviously it's a huge step forward in the quality of life for millions of people, which I totally agree with. Thank you so much, Clarence Speaks, for this post as well. On to the next. From an update regarding the new signups and the signing key issue, which was what I was referring to earlier. And as soon as this gets kinked out, I personally believe GCash will be made of an announcement for Telcoin, and they'll hopefully start marketing as well within the meantime. So thankfully that will be getting settled really soon. They're still developing into it, and the engineers are definitely working on it as we speak. So on here we also have Stove219 that created a thread. I want to point you over to number 3 and number 4, showing how much the telephone payment market is worth and actually how much it will be worth in the coming years. Currently, as of 2019, it was worth 1.18 trillion, and then by 2027, it should be worth 8.94 trillion. That's over about $7.5 trillion increase by 2027, which is very significant, and obviously that's bound to drive the price up as well. Alright, and then number 4, we see what are the Telcoin use cases, with a lot of them being such as attracting mobile customers to an easy-to-access encryption system, and then creating a payment card system based on cryptography, which I haven't seen that yet, but it's basically a prepaid Visa card where you can spend Telcoin, for example, as well. And I think that's a definitely cool concept, which I would actually like to see in the meantime. And then now GCash has over 33 million users, but I also want to point you down here to where Banco Central NG Filipinas would actually be going coinless by 2025, or at least that's the goal, and then double the percentage of Filipino adults with bank accounts to 70% by 2023. And obviously GCash and Telcoin are all banking the unbanked, which is really good because it's just very fast, quick, especially through remittances. It takes less than 2 minutes. Not bad at all, and all you need is your phone number and a quick identity verification, which doesn't take much time at all. And so on to the next one, we have the connection with MasterCard as well, and this is speculative as the last one was in the previous video, but it's showing from Voodoo that MasterCard said it's only interested in dealing with cryptocurrencies that operate in full compliance with all applicable laws and regulations. So obviously Telcoin marks all those boxes, and XRP, I mean, they're currently in a lawsuit, so they can't really mark that box. But for this, it looks very bright. Honestly, someday soon, I hope we see an announcement stating that MasterCard is partnering with Telcoin, as that'll definitely bring in a lot of new investments, new investors, institutions, and this will definitely drive the price up, giving us a lot more exposure. I think that the main thing Telcoin community needs is exposure. Anyways, that's where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it, and that I will see you in the next video. Peace.